Twitter recently has opened up some data on past tweets up to a marketing group called Data Shift. What used to happen is that it used to be that 30 days worth of old tweets were available to marketers to do things like target ads and that sort of thing. And now they've opened it up to a full 2 years worth of tweets. So the articles that I saw about this said, well, this is good for marketers and not great for consumers, but clearly it's a step that Twitter's willing to make in order to attract more marketers to its site. Google Plus, there was an interesting graphic that came out not so long ago about where people are spending their time in terms of various social media sites. And it turned out that Google Plus users, on average, are hanging out on Google Plus only 3 minutes per month. 3 minutes per month. That is an astonishingly low number. And you can see here that even MySpace beats it. LinkedIn and Twitter certainly beat it, and Facebook crushes it. So it's a really interesting study. It's suggesting that people have, in fact, signed up for Google Plus. People are joining it, but it's really not, a place where they're spending a whole lot of time. So I just thought that was a very interesting graphic. And just today, this is brand new news. Yelp had its IPO today, and stocks started selling today, and it is up. As you can see here, it's up just a little over 60% right now. So its initial public offering is going well so far, and this is all despite the fact that in the 7 years that Yelp has existed, it has not yet turned a profit. So commentators are sort of questioning, well, does this make a lot of sense? Is this sort of, is this a sort of a sign of really uncalled for, people taking an uncalled for trust in Yelp because they haven't really proven themselves yet. And I think it's also a sign of sort of what's to come with Facebook's IPO. I think we're going to see when that happens in the second quarter of this year. I'm guessing that we're going to see a similar thing going on here, where all of a sudden we see that stock just start to take off. But anyway, just some interesting and very fresh news. My one to watch this week is an interesting application called Forecast. And basically what Forecast lets you do is it works within your own Facebook account and lets you set up events, not that have already happened, but events in the future. Now, this was being, when I heard about it, it was being, promoted as, well, this is the next best thing because, normally on Facebook or on Twitter, everything that you're talking about is stuff that's already happened. You're posting photos of things that have already happened. You're writing status about things that have already happened. And here's a chance to talk about things that are going to happen. And really, to me, it sounds more like just sort of a slick event creation tool. I thought maybe it was going to be, a place where you talked about your hopes and your dreams and said, join me in 20 years when I celebrate my son's college graduation or something like that. But it looks like actually it's really just sort of more of an event service. Anyway, it's an interesting one, and we'll follow what happens with it. And now moving into the focus topic on introducing Pinterest. If you've heard of Pinterest, you'll know that it's sort of become the next biggest thing. Everyone seems to be talking about it. I joined Pinterest probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I connected through my Facebook account, and I'll show you all of that in just a second. And ever since then, I've been getting notices saying so-and-so is following you on Pinterest. And I'll talk about why that's so. I don't think it's because I've suddenly become popular by any means. But it is a sort of related to the fact that so many people are joining Pinterest. So first of all, what Pinterest is. What's the idea behind Pinterest? The idea is that it's like an old-fashioned bulletin board where you would put up pictures of things that you love. You might stick articles up there, or recipes, which are certainly a huge thing on Pinterest. You can see that just from this sort of random screenshot. that I have here, we see at least 4, maybe 5 recipes, if that's another one down here. Sharing recipes is big on Pinterest. And so it's just a place where you can come and post photos or links to videos, and then people can comment on them. You can write a little something and people can comment on them, and then you can create these boards where you create a board about a specific topic or a specific issue. So you can see here, it's kind of small, but it says, my friend Gabrielle has created a board called Recipes to Try. My friend Elsa has created one called Nifty, Nifty, Nifty. So you can create boards really about anything, and you can allow other people to have access to posting on your boards if you choose. And then, of course, you can see basically anybody else's boards. This is anything you post on Pinterest basically becomes public information. I have yet to encounter a way to make any of your pins private. So why does Pinterest matter? Well, this chart starts to give us an idea. I'm more interested. The average minutes per visitor is certainly, which is the blue line. That's certainly an interesting graph there, and that is clearly on the rise. People are spending more and more time on Pinterest. But really, it's the red that I'm more interested in. The red bars, where it's showing the number of unique visitors in the United States in terms of millions, and you can see that. It's really, it's coming close to, from November to December, it came close to doubling. From December to January, it looks like it went up another 60, 70% or so. And so by January, we were up to 11.72 million unique visitors in that month, which is really a pretty astonishing number. And then also, this is the exact same. You might recognize this data because we just looked at it a minute ago in terms of, excuse me, when I was talking about Google Plus and how people aren't spending a lot of time on that. This is the exact same information here, except now it's pointing out sort of how Pinterest is doing and how well that's going. And so you can see that Pinterest now is second among the major social media networks in terms of the amount of time that people are spending there, second alongside Tumblr, which is a blogging site. And then just some other interesting facts here. You can see that it's time spent on site again, and I think it's funny. There are so many great infographics out there about Pinterest now because everyone's so excited about it. You can see the unique visitors increase. The gender breakdown is one that a lot of people are talking about. Pinterest is the first major social network to be far more attractive and used by women than it is by men. And so consequently, I shouldn't say consequently, but that does mean that many of the pins that are out there, like I said, it's a very big place for sharing recipes. I talked to Katie Goodell, our marketing coordinator here at Pivot, about Pinterest because she was a user before I was, and she said, yeah, it does kind of tend to things that are more domestic, and I don't want to necessarily associate that with women, but you can see here 68% of Pinterest users are women. Another fact that I heard a week ago, actually, that is not in any of these charts, is that unlike most social networks, which tended to become popular on the coasts first, the West Coast and the East Coast of the United States, Pinterest really had its first major groundswell in the Midwest. And so that's another sort of just interesting difference, and something that you should listen up to if your company is in the Midwest, and I see many people on the call that's true for. And some other just interesting graphs here. The company growth just skyrocketing in terms of the number of employees they have. The referral traffic percentage is just kind of amazing. Again, I'll talk a little bit about why that's the case. And the age demographic, you just have sort of that sweet spot of 25 to 34-year-old users who are on Pinterest. And so, again, it's exciting a lot of people because of the people that are attracted to Pinterest. So let's talk about how it works, and I'm going to take you on sort of a detailed walk through how it gets set up, and then also how you use it. So it was that Pinterest was an invitation-only sort of thing. I went to Pinterest.com and I requested an invitation. And then I finally got this email that said, a few days later, that said, I'm excited to invite you to join Pinterest. And then it offers, I thought this was great, it offers some Pinterest etiquette. So it gives some guidelines for how to use their site. Go ahead and cite your sources, your photos that you're using on Pinterest. Be creative and be nice. Let's let this be a place where the level of conduct is really high. And I have not heard, you often hear about sort of people being nasty on Facebook, and I haven't heard anything about that with regard to Twitter, with regard to Pinterest yet. I'm sure it's happening somewhere, but I haven't seen it yet. So here it was when I then got back to Pinterest. Congratulations, you've been invited to join. And then it offers to let you sign up with Facebook or with your Twitter account. This is going to be important to know later on, and I'll talk about why. I went ahead and signed up with Facebook because that's where I'm most active, but you can certainly sign up with your Twitter account as well. You can see here that what you don't have is an option to just sign up with your own unique email address. That's something that you're not given. And then when you sign up, so my Facebook username is, I'm at facebook.com/IanDescher. And so as soon as I signed up for Pinterest through Facebook, using my Facebook account, I then became Pinterest.com/IanDescher. So then, of course, it takes you through the usual thing of, Pinterest wants to connect with your Facebook account, and so do you really want to go ahead and do this? And I said yes. And then once I was logged in, so you can see it grabbed my Facebook profile picture here and put it on the Pinterest page. And then all I had to do was click Find Friends, and automatically it took me to my whole list. It searched for everybody who I'm friends with on Facebook who is also on Pinterest. And it gave me the option to automatically follow all of those people, which I did, which is why I think I, in turn, am getting all of these people following me. I think it's friends of mine who I'm friends with on Facebook who are joining Pinterest, and it's saying, oh, Ian Descher's on Pinterest too. Do you want to follow him? And they just automatically say yes. And it's sort of a one fell swoop. You don't decide person by person. You just say, yes, I want to follow all those people. So I think that's why I've suddenly accrued these followers. It's certainly not because of all the pinning I've done on Pinterest. And then, again, another great email they send you with some tips on how to use Pinterest. And I think I just think they do a really nice job of reaching out to people and helping them get started. They suggest installing the bookmarklet, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second here. That's a key piece I think, to their success, is the way they've set themselves up to be part of your actual browser. I'll talk about that in just a minute. So when you get to Pinterest, then you've sort of got your main navigation up on the top right hand where you can add a pin. You can click on About to find friends or to look into some of your settings or find out more about the company. And then you also have some personal options as well. On the left-hand side of the screen, which is not shown in this screen capture, there's also a search option where you can go searching for really just about anything you want to, and you'll probably find some sort of interesting graphics or video around it. And then you can see it showing me sort of by default some categories that it thinks it's possible I would be interested in. So there's a board here for web humor and for infographics and social media.